Hello there, it is movie time on Encore. Top of the bill today. Star power, vows of silence and red carpet capers. We're talking Berlin Film Festival with updates on all the major on and off-screen action. Prepare to meet a time-travelling talking dog in the new animated blockbuster Mr. Peabody and Sherman. And the classic fairy tale Beauty and the Beast gets a brand new live-action French touch, right down to the designer costumes. All that and more still to come. Let's get started. And I'm joined by our film critic, Lisa Nesselson. Hello there.
Hello.
Very nice to see you, Lisa, and hello as well to you, our viewers. First up, this week we said goodbye to arguably Hollywood's greatest child star. Shirley Temple died on Monday at the age of 85. She started out in film at age 3, and she's still the youngest ever Oscar winner after being awarded aged just 6. Lisa, tell us for you, why was Shirley Temple just so special?
She was prodigiously talented. She was effortlessly adorable. She radiated good cheer and intelligence. There was nothing smarmy and phony about her, and she was exactly what an entire nation, the United States of America, needed during the Great Depression. She was a very, very talented young lady.
That's right, and they say as well that she saved the film studio, 20th Century Fox, don't they, with her great box office draw.
Imagine being that height and doing that. Yes.
Very, very difficult feat indeed. So there we go. It's goodbye to Shirley Temple, a great talent. We'll move on to one of the world's biggest movie festivals. Berlin may not have the glamour of Cannes, but it does certainly have the clout. Lisa, tell us, why is this such an important moment in the movie calendar?
Well, there are 3 major European film festivals, all very old and venerable, and they are named for the cities they take place in. So you've heard of Cannes and Venice. There's also Berlin, and people are out there making movies all year long, and they want them to be shown on the world stage. But if a film isn't necessarily ready for Venice in the autumn, then maybe it'll go to Berlin in the winter or to Cannes in the spring. And so Berlin is just a must stop. It also has an incredibly important film market at which many of the deals to make movies or distribute them in the rest of the world are made.
And this year we got a bit of juice from the often provocative Danish director Lars von Trier, who refused to speak a single word after showing a director's cut of his film Nymphomaniac. Lisa, what on earth was that all about?
Well, he's a man of his word. After the brouhaha in Cannes a few years ago, he said, "That's it, I've had it," with press conferences. He did, however, show up in a T-shirt specially made that had the Cannes Film Festival logo and said persona non grata, which was what he was pronounced because the festival had to do something. I think they still have enormous affection for him. And Nymphomaniac, his film, was shown in its director's cut 35 minutes longer than what we've seen in Europe so far. Shia LaBeouf, who is one of the performers in Nymphomaniac, is currently drawing a lot of criticism for having plagiarized a famous graphic novel when he made his first short film, and he carried on with some interesting behavior.
Yeah, putting a paper bag on his head down the red carpet, as we can see there, perhaps part of an advertising ploy for his current performance art in LA. Who knows? Moving on, though, to someone who is just too smooth to be controversial, George Clooney. He showed his new film, The Monuments Men, at the Berlinale. It's a World War II action comedy caper loosely based on a real-life squad of art experts sent to protect priceless artifacts in Europe. Now, George told the festival media conference that it wasn't about American flag waving.
So we get to shoot some Nazis?
It wasn't to make a patriotic film as much as I thought it was to talk about a unique group of people who did something for the first time in the history of war, which is the victor didn't keep the spoils. You know, they gave it back.
And The Monuments Men has been broadly criticised by the critics, but it still took $22 million on its opening weekend in the United States. Now, another international film festival that is a world leader in its own way has been going on lately here in France. This one gets rather less press, however, as it's a short film festival. Lisa, tell us why the Clermont-Ferrand Festival is short but mighty.
Where do I start? It is the most important event in France for film going after Cannes in terms of attendance. 160,000 people line up to stand in line from 10 in the morning till past midnight in 15 venues, over 5,000 seats. People get turned away. The main auditorium has 1,400 seats, and they have to do the closing ceremony 3 times to accommodate demand. A couple who made a film from Australia were sent by the Australian government to Clermont-Ferrand, demonstrating its importance. Here's what they had to say.
Clermont-Ferrand is the most prestigious short film festival in the world, and so it was always my dream to make a film and have it premiere here. And so when you get to Clermont, a door opens and everyone has time for you. And you can book meetings with whoever you want, buyers, distributors, filmmakers, everyone wants to talk to you. And I've been to a lot of festivals, but here there's not the same barrier between the filmmaker and the audience.
And we can give you a look at one of the prize-winning films from the festival. This is Noah by Canadian duo Patrick Cederberg and Walter Woodman. It's about a teenager who breaks up with his girlfriend. It's 17 minutes and they all basically look like this.
What's up?
I don't know. Thinking about next year. I don't know about us.
Okay.
Well, I've just been thinking a lot about what it's going to be like when you're in a different city and I'm here and, you know, you're going to meet so many new people and going out and doing things, and I don't want to stop you from having the best time of your life. I don't want that to be your memory of me.
Very modern indeed. Lisa, even the Facebook movie didn't include that much screen time, did it? Do the participants at this festival see this as a short film, as an art form in itself, or is it a stepping stone to bigger, more feature movies?
Well, they get over 8,000 submissions from all over the world, so I'm not sure who wants to do what, but making a short film teaches you of necessity concision. We'll be very forgiving of a little long moment here or something that doesn't quite work in a feature, but a short film has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it has to work. It has to have a punchline.
And I have to say, I think a lot of feature films are way too long, so vive the short film for me. We're going to move on to one of this week's big feature movie releases. Mr. Peabody and Sherman is the latest big-budget animation from American studio DreamWorks. Lisa, I know you're absolutely dying to tell us about this, so I'll hand over to you.
This is based on a television show that was a staple of any baby boomer's childhood in the 60s. It's about Mr. Peabody, who is a genius polymath who happens to be a talking dog and who took it upon himself to adopt his boy Sherman, a 7-year-old. And they have a time travel Wayback Machine, and they go and they visit various important moments in history. In the film, they go and see King Tut, they go and see Leonardo da Vinci, and they go to a certain country on the eve of a certain revolution. Let's watch.
It's the Palace of Versailles, home of Marie Antoinette. You know, she was mostly famous for one thing.
Cake! I love cake so much! Marie Antoinette sure likes cake, Mr. Peabody.
Indeed she does. Marie was a woman with a prodigious appetite for all things covered with frosting. But her expensive tastes made her the target of much criticism.
Why?
Because, Sherman, during Marie's reign, the common people of France were exceedingly poor.
Got any bread?
No! I'm exceedingly poor!
Now can we have some cake? May we? Oh, yeah, sorry. May we have some cake? May we? Maybe she can't hear me through the hair.
Sherman, what the Queen means is...
Ah, let them eat cake!
There we go, not quite a serious history lesson, but Lisa, this reminds me a bit of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, which I learned a lot of history from. This is just for younger kids, though, by the look of it.
Absolutely not. It works on both levels. Kids like it, adults like it. At least this adult liked it a lot. Every show had puns, and there's a wonderful pun here after they miss the guillotine and run through the sewers of Paris. When they're safe, Mr. Peabody says to Sherman, you know, but she could have saved herself all that if only she had published an edict providing bread for the people of Paris, but she couldn't have her cake and edict too.
Oh, it's one for the grown-ups, definitely. OK, so perhaps not just for the kids, it's one for all the family. We're going to move from a colourful animated delight to a more unassuming black and white Polish film now. Ida is by Paweł Pawlikowski, about a young orphan raised in a convent to be a nun in the 1960s. Lisa, black and white, subtitles, fairly austere-sounding story. It's not in widescreen. We might wish that things were otherwise, but basically none of those things really get people running to their cinema. Why would you think people should go and see this film?
Because it's about the big issues. It's about life. It's magnificently done. One critic said that you could take almost any scene at random, blow it up, and hang it on your wall as a poster because it's that gorgeous. But you're not sitting there going, oh, look at the gorgeous photography. You're thinking, oh my goodness, this woman was raised in a convent. It's 1962 in Poland. You have your choice between church and state, communist rule, and 4 days before she's going to take her vows as a nun, she finds out something that about her identity that makes the movie riveting from start to finish. Let's take a look.
Nie masz czasami grzeszne myśli?
Ty pewnie w ogóle nie wiesz, jak ty wyglądasz, co?
There we go, the beautifully shot Ida, one to watch, says Lisa. Well, we are going to end today's show with some Happily Ever After, a new French version of Beauty and the Beast, which was shown out of competition at Berlin. Director Christophe Gans has gone for a fantastical period retelling, and he's called in the big guns of actress Léa Seydoux, her beast Vincent Cassel, with costumes by French couturier Christian Lacroix. So we're going to leave you with that. Thanks once again to Lisa for being with us. Thanks very much to you for watching our show. Here's La Belle et la Bête. We'll see you soon.
Je pourrais combler tous tes désirs.
Vous vous drapez dans les parures d'un prince, mais vous n'êtes qu'une bête cruelle et solitaire.
Que sais-tu de moi? Rien.
Ça vous arrange peut-être de ne jamais penser à votre passé.
Tu as raison. Tu remplis un vide immense.
Laissez brûler.